everybody, it's me, Coach Regal, your transformational life coach, coming at you with a video today. Today we're going to talk about Review, Reflect, Connect, and you might ask, well, what is that? Review, Reflect, Connect is a process of self-evaluation. Yes, this is something that I did for myself over 21 years ago. Did not even know that I was creating a program back then when I started this. I just wanted to be a better person. I just wanted to really love myself more. So with that said, I'm going to tell you about how to start this process. So the first thing that you have to do is look at your life. That means look at your entire life. Look at your entire life. You have to really review your past, because sometimes there are a lot of past hurts that you have not dealt with that will literally affect you as an adult. And if you don't address those things, they will affect you for the rest of your life. And the next thing is you may want to do self-evaluation because you're looking towards your next phase of life of what you want to do, whether if you're at the age that you want to retire or you're at a stage in your life where you want to quit, because we're in that phase of the great resignation. You want to review your life, self-evaluate on what it is that you want to do, where you're going, how you're going to, continue to support yourself. And then you also want to know where you want to go. And in this process, you evaluate that. You evaluate where you've been so that you know and you think about your present and figure out, okay, where do I want to direct my future? I've had to do that recently. Now we're in May. It's been about 6 months ago I quit my federal job. I just couldn't do it anymore. It was stressing me out. It wasn't making me happy, and I was really sad. So that was me having to self-evaluate and figure out where I want to go in my life, what I want to do, how do I want to change my life and make it the life that I want it to be, and change it to being barely recognizable than what I had before, so that I have the freedom to travel, so that I have the freedom to do whatever it is that I want to do, that I don't have to have a 9 to 5 tell me, oh, you got to be here at 9, you got to work till 5, okay, and then you got to turn around and come back the next day. I didn't like that anymore. I didn't feel good about that anymore. So that's kind of what that's a short example of what Review, Reflect, Connect means. And this can be done every day, once a week, once a quarter, once a year. You decide on how you want to self-evaluate. That's the good thing about this process. So now it's story time. I'm going to tell you about the first time I realized that I needed to change, or I needed to really evaluate who I was and where I was going and what I wanted to do and what direction I wanted my life to go in. So I was 30 years old. This was back in 1998. And this is where I worked at a network marketing company selling vitamins. And I had just gotten out of the military the year prior, and I had moved back home to Florida. I lived in Altamont Springs, Florida, beautiful place to live. And in doing so, working for this company, I would go to lunch every day for about an hour. And this particular day, I went to Subway, and I would always write poetry. I was a very creative. I've always been a very creative person, and I was writing down my feelings and how I felt about different instances in my life and where I was presently. And this particular day that I decided to go to Subway, I decided to read what I had been writing. And what I saw on the paper, I did not like. I did not like the brokenness that I saw. I did not like the hurt that I saw. I did not like the anger that was on the page. I didn't like the betrayal that I felt was done to me. I didn't like the Regal that I saw on the page. That was a moment that I had an epiphany that, okay, you're not happy, you're hurt, you're angry, you're living in a state of unforgiveness. I need to change this Regal into a positive Regal, the Regal that I always thought I was, which was positive, outgoing, very, wanting to serve and help people. But the person that I saw on that paper was broken. So the way that I started to, I say, fix myself for myself was I went to Books A Million and I went to the self-help section, and that's where I was introduced to Iyanla Vanzant. And she, or Iyanla Vanzant, excuse me, she became my mentor in books. This woman literally helped me change my life. And in reading her books, reading her self-help books, I learned how to start to forgive myself. I learned how to release people from my hurt, because they all moved on with their life. Hell, they probably done had some kids, got married, had some kids, and just doing their thing. But I'm still here sitting in hurt, and they done moved on with their life. Okay, they done moved on, doing their thing, having a ball, doing their life. So what I did was I started, as I stated before, I reviewed my entire life. I wanted to know where all this hurt was coming from, where all this pain was coming from. I wanted to know why. So I started literally reviewing instances and things that I remembered in my life. And there's also a lot of stuff that I have literally blacked out and I don't remember. But once I started going over the things that I did remember, I was like, oh, that's why I'm still mad at my mama. Oh, that's why I'm still mad at him, Ed, who molested me. That's what I was mad at. I was mad at my grandmother for not letting me come back home to just get on my feet. I was mad at my mom for saying some very horrible things to me and wondering if she really believed them when she said them to me. I was angry at men who had broken my heart. And when I saw that, I said, okay, we got to change this. We got to get to a space of forgiveness. So I started, I created some exercises, which I'll talk about that in another video, about forgiveness exercises that I did for myself. But I had to make myself aware of what was going on. And doing the entire review of my life did that. It made me aware now of that hurt and of that pain and of that anger. So the next thing what I had to do is review how I saw life. And in reviewing how I saw life, I had to seriously take some looks here, like at me. Are you a negative person? I had to write down the things that were negative about myself. And then I also wrote down things that I wanted to do to help change that negative to a positive. That's how I had to do that. And then I also wrote down about what was positive about me. And in doing so, I wrote down the things that were positive about me, because I wanted to be encouraged and know that I was not this totally horrible person that was stuck in forgiveness and mad at everybody. So in writing those things down, it made me feel better about myself, knowing that there is still hope for me, that I can literally see what good I have done for myself and for others. And then I could start, literally improving my life even more by doing more things to incorporate positivity into my life, into myself. And then I also had to review the relationships in my life. So I literally had to go back to my past again. I had to go back to, old friends, some that I didn't even talk to anymore, and think about why that relationship didn't stay. What was it that changed, that we fell apart? I had to look at my present relationships. Also, were those people in my life presently feeding positivity to me? Were they, adding to me in a positive way, or were they adding to me in a negative way? I had to do that. And then I also had to say, are you still angry with someone who hurt you years ago or currently? I had to look at my hurts. I had to look at those things. And then finally I said, how are you going to resolve those feelings? And if you want to know, I'm just reading from my notes here. How are you going to resolve those feelings? And I had to say, okay, let me write down who hurt me, the incident, and how I felt about that situation, and how I'm going to get into a space of forgiveness so I can let that anger and that hurt, all those feelings that came along with that incident go. And I can live a better life, okay? So there actually are more steps to this. I just wanted to give you guys the first 3. So in doing this process, you have to understand your expectations set the stage of what you will get out of life, receive out of life, and where you will go in life. That is a quote that I have said to myself several times. And I'm going to say it again. Your expectation sets the stage of what you will get out of life, receive out of life, and where you will go in life. And I will also add to that your intention. Your intention will affect what you get out of life. Your intention will affect what you receive out of life. Your intention will say where you go in life. So through all of this personal development, you have to really set your intention on what it is that you want to accomplish, how you want to feel better about yourself, how you want to be a better person. So that is that you can either find your purpose, do whatever it is that you need to make yourself happier. Because a happy you, guess what? Attracts happy people to you, attracts positive people to you. And that's what we want in this time. We don't want to live in a space of misery. We don't want to live in that hurt people stage. Okay? That's just really not cool at all. If you would like to talk more about this subject, please put in the comments, do a part 2, Coach Regal, and I will do a part 2 on this because I do have more steps into Review, Reflect, Connect. I just wanted to give you guys a few steps so that you could get started. And help me get in that YouTube algorithm by liking the video, commenting on the video, and subscribing to the video. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.